Hello to all security guards. I am security guard, Andrew from Toronto in Canada. In this essay, I will guide you on how to write an incident report as a mall security guard in a more professional and effective manner, helping you improve the presentation of your reports for the property owners and management of the sites you serve. To begin, I will provide an incident report writing checklist, which highlights all the essential points and techniques every security guard should follow when documenting an incident. Following the checklist, I will present a simple example of an incident report, demonstrating how the guidelines can be applied in practice. Later, the essay will provide a more in-depth explanation of each section, helping you understand the purpose and best practices behind each element of the report. I hope all security guards find this essay informative and useful, and that it helps you enhance the quality and professionalism of your incident reports. Let's begin. Incident Report Writing Checklist in one page. 1. Before you start, use 24-hour time, for example, 14:30. Today's date, YYYY, Confirm exact location, store or area, level, nearest landmark. Get names or roles if available or unknown. Unit numbers, for example, ambulance number 961. Stick to facts only, no opinions, no causes unless confirmed. 2. Incident summary, what happened. Write 3 to 6 factual sentences answering who, what, when, where, how, known facts only. Start time and discovery. At 14:30 hours, while on patrol in Central Court, security guard Tyler advised. What you observed, condition or behavior, hazards, property affected. Timeline of key events, arrivals or departures of EMS or emergency medical services, police, maintenance, etc. Location clarity, store name plus mall area, for example, Coca Lens, Central Court. Neutral language, appeared to, reported by, observed, avoid assumptions. Example line. 15:37 hours. Ambulance unit number 961 arrived with 2 paramedics and attended to the patron. 3. Actions taken by security, what you did. Bullet your actions in order. Each starts with a verb plus time. Responded or attended. 14:32 hours. Attended Coca Lens to stand by. Assessed or monitored. Patient condition, safety risks, scene survey. Controlled scene. Crowd or traffic control. Secured pathways, cordon hazards. Coordinated or communicated. With staff, emergency medical services, control room, management. Documented, names or roles or units, statements, if any, photos or CCTV bookmarks. Handover or escalation, who took over, any instructions received. 4. Conclusion, how it ended. Close the loop in 1 to 3 sentences. Outcome, transported, treated on site, issue repaired, suspect trespassed, NFA, or no further action, etc. Status at departure. Area secured. Operations normal. No further safety concerns. In time. When security cleared or incident resolved. Example line. 15:50 hours. Patient transported off-site by ambulance unit number 961. By 16:30 hours, area secure and normal operations resumed. No further assistance required. 5. Quality and compliance checks. Spelling or grammar reviewed. Professional tone. All times in 24-hour format. Sequence is chronological. Only verified facts. Witness quotes and quotation marks if used. Privacy respected. Use roles or titles if names unavailable. Attachments noted. CCTV references, photo IDs, forms, if applicable. The below content will guide security guard through step-by-step if security guard is looking to learn how to write an incident report, and will first give you a practical checklist you can use before and during writing. Then it will show you an example format. Incident Report Writing Checklist. Before you start, date format. Always write in YYYY, MMDD, for example, 202 50902. Time format. Always use 24-hour clock, for example, 14:30, not 2:30 p.m. Location. Know the exact site, area, or unit number where the incident occurred. Parties involved. Gather full names, if available, descriptions, ID numbers, for example, license plate, employee badge, and contact details if relevant. Type of incident. Identify whether it's theft, medical emergency, vandalism, trespassing, slip or fall, etc. While writing, be objective. Report only what you saw, heard, or confirmed. Avoid assumptions. Be clear and simple. Short sentences, professional language, no slang. Chronological order. Write events as they happened, from first observation to final action. Neutral tone. Do not include personal opinions or emotions. Identify your role. Mention what you, the guard, did in response. Action taken. Note security steps, assistance requested, or if police or emergency medical services were called. Outcome. State what happened at the end. For example, subject left the property, medical team arrived, repair requested. After writing, proofread. Check spelling, grammar, and accuracy. Completeness. Ensure you included who, what, when, where, why, and how. 5W plus 1H. Professional formatting. Align text neatly. Avoid unnecessary details. Keep it factual. Sign off. Your name, position, and signature if required. Example incident report format. Incident report. Date, September 2nd, 2025. Time, 14:30 hours. Location, Good Work Mall, TB Bank ATM Vestibule. Officer name, Andrew, and last name, security guard. Details of incident. At 14:30, while conducting a routine perimeter patrol, I observed a male individual inside the bank ATM vestibule. The subject was lying in the corner and appeared to be sleeping. The vestibule is private property intended only for banking purposes. I approached the individual and identified myself as security. I advised him that the area was for customer use only and not a place for loitering or sleeping. The subject complied and exited the premises at 14:40 hours without further issue. Action taken. Spoke to the individual and instructed him to leave. Insured vestibule was cleared for bank customers. No further action required at this time. Report filed by Andrew and last name. Security guard at Good Work Mall. Signature signed. 1. One incident report writing checklist. Before you start, use 24-hour time. For example, 14:30 hours. Security and law enforcement always use the 24-hour clock because it removes confusion between AM and PM. For example, 02:30 hours means early morning, while 14:30 hours means afternoon. This ensures reports are precise and professional. Use today's date in YYYYMMDD format. For example, 202-50902 for year 2025 September the 2nd. Writing the date in this international standard prevents mix-ups between day and month. For example, 090225 could mean September 2nd or February 9th, depending on the reader. Using YYYYMMDD keeps it clear and consistent, especially in official or legal records. 1.2 Before you start, confirm exact location, store or area, level, nearest landmark. When writing an incident report, one of the first steps before you start is to confirm the exact location of the event. This is essential because security reports are often reviewed by supervisors, property managers, or even law enforcement, and they must be able to quickly identify where the incident occurred. A vague description such as inside the mall is not sufficient because it does not give a precise point of reference. Instead, the report should state the specific store, area, level, or section where the incident happened. Including the nearest landmark strengthens the clarity of your report. For example, instead of writing, "A disturbance happened in the hallway," a stronger entry would be, "A disturbance occurred on level 2, near store number 245, ABC Clothing, across from the food court washrooms." This allows anyone reviewing the report to immediately visualize and locate the spot without confusion. If the site has multiple towers, entrances, or parking lots, Specifying these details makes the report more accurate and useful. Remember, in professional incident reporting, clarity and precision are key. If another guard, manager, or emergency responder needed to follow up on your report hours or days later, they should be able to go directly to the correct location based on your description. By always confirming and recording the exact store, area, level, and landmark, you ensure that your report meets security industry standards and can serve as a reliable record for investigations or legal purposes. 1.3 Get names or roles if available or unknown. Unit numbers, for example, ambulance number 961. Before starting an incident report, it is important to gather the names and roles of the people involved whenever possible. Names provide accountability and ensure that individuals can be identified later if the incident needs further follow-up, such as a police investigation, management review, or legal proceeding. Roles are equally important. Was the person a customer, tenant, employee, contractor, or visitor? Clearly stating this adds context to the incident and helps establish why the individual was present at the location. If the name cannot be obtained, the professional approach is to write unknown rather than leaving a blank space, which shows that you attempted to collect the information but it was unavailable. In addition to names and roles, specific identifiers such as unit numbers should always be recorded. For example, if an ambulance, fire truck, or police unit responded to the incident, noting ambulance number 961 or Toronto Police Unit number 31A provides a clear record of which emergency responders attended. This small detail can be critical later if management or investigators need to request records, verify response times, or confirm which agency was on scene. Similarly, if a contractor vehicle or delivery truck is involved, capturing the license plate number serves the same purpose. Collecting this information before starting your report ensures that the document is complete, credible, and professionally written. A report that simply says, "ambulance came," lacks the detail expected in the security industry and may cause delays or confusion in follow-up actions. By writing down names, roles, and unit numbers at the scene, or marking unknown when they cannot be confirmed, you demonstrate thoroughness and reliability as a security professional. This attention to detail not only strengthens your report, but also builds confidence with your supervisors and clients who rely on accurate records. 1.4 Stick to facts only, no opinions, no causes unless confirmed. When writing an incident report, one of the most important principles is to stick strictly to the facts. Your role as a security guard is to record what happened, not to speculate or assume. This means writing down only what you directly observed, what was reported to you by reliable sources, or what can be confirmed through evidence such as CCTV footage. By keeping your report factual, you ensure it is credible and professional, and it can stand up in court or during an investigation if required. Including opinions or guesses weakens the reliability of your report. For example, writing "the subject was drunk and aggressive" is an opinion unless you actually smelled alcohol or saw a bottle. A stronger, factual version would be, "the subject was unsteady on his feet, slurred his speech, and had a strong odor of alcohol." These are observable facts, not personal judgments. The difference is important because opinions can be challenged, while facts are harder to dispute. Similarly, when it comes to identifying causes of incidents, you should only state them if they have been officially confirmed. For example, if a fire occurred, you should not write, "the fire was caused by faulty wiring," unless the fire department officially determined that. Instead, you could write, "the fire alarm was activated and smoke was visible in the electrical room. Fire services arrived and investigated the cause." This ensures your report does not present unverified information as fact, which could lead to liability or credibility issues later. In professional incident reporting, your goal is to provide a clear, accurate, and unbiased account of what happened. Management, law enforcement, or insurance investigators will use your report to make decisions, and they need to trust that the information is objective. By focusing only on facts and avoiding opinions or unconfirmed causes, you demonstrate professionalism, protect yourself legally, and maintain the integrity of the security company you represent. Next, we are going to talk about good report and bad report. Below is a side-by-side example. Bad report with opinions versus good report with only facts, so guards can clearly see how this works in practice. A side-by-side example is one of the best ways to train your eye to separate facts from opinions. Below will show you a bad version with opinions or assumptions, and then a good version, only facts, no unconfirmed causes. Bad report with opinions and assumptions. At 22:15, a drunk man caused trouble outside the food court. He was aggressive and probably homeless. The fire alarm went off because the kitchen staff were careless. I calmed the man down and made him leave. Good report, facts only. At 22:15, a male subject was observed outside the food court shouting loudly and using aggressive language toward another individual. The subject appeared unsteady on his feet, slurred his speech, and had a strong odor of alcohol. Identification could not be obtained. At 22:18, the fire alarm activated in the food court area. Smoke was visible near the kitchen entrance. Cause of the alarm was not confirmed at the time of reporting. I maintained a safe distance, monitored the situation, and requested backup. The subject left the premises at 22:25 without further incident. Fire services arrived at 22:28 to investigate the alarm. See the difference? The bad version contains assumptions: drunk, probably homeless, staff were careless. The good version contains observations only: slurred speech, odor of alcohol, smoke visible, and leaves the cause of the alarm for fire services to confirm. 2.2 Start time and discovery. When preparing the incident summary section of your report, it is important to begin with the start time and discovery of the event. This is the anchor of your report, as it tells the reader exactly when the incident began and how it first came to the attention of security. A clear example would be, at 14:30 hours, while on patrol in Central Court, security guard Tyler advised. This type of phrasing immediately sets the scene by establishing both the time and the source of information. Using this style ensures that your report maintains chronological accuracy. Incidents are often reviewed days or even months later, and management, investigators, or law enforcement need a clear timeline of events. Stating the exact time and the method of discovery, for example, through patrol, CCTV, radio call, or a tenant report, shows that you are organized and precise. Without this opening, reports can feel incomplete or confusing, as the reader will not know when the situation started. This format also distinguishes direct involvement from secondary information. For instance, security guard, Tyler advised, tells the reader that another guard was the first to notice or report the incident, and you are documenting the handover or follow-up. On the other hand, if you personally discovered the issue, you would write, at 14:30 hours, while conducting a routine patrol in Central Court, I observed. The difference is important because it clarifies the source of the information and demonstrates accountability in the chain of events. Finally, beginning with time and discovery provides a professional and consistent structure across all reports. Whether the incident involves theft, medical assistance, trespassing, or a fire alarm, opening with the start time and the point of discovery keeps your writing clear and easy to follow. This consistency is highly valued in the security industry, as it allows supervisors and clients to quickly scan reports and extract the most important details without searching for when and how the incident began. 2.2 What you observed: condition or behavior, hazards, property affected. When writing the incident summary, after stating the start time and discovery, the next critical step is to record what you observed. This includes the subject's condition or behavior, any hazards present, and any property affected. Observations should be factual, objective, and as detailed as possible. For example, instead of writing "he was acting suspiciously," a stronger report would describe, the male subject was pacing back and forth, frequently looking around, and attempting to open multiple doors without authorization. This provides a clear, concrete account of behavior rather than an opinion or assumption. Recording condition or behavior is essential because it helps supervisors, investigators, or law enforcement understand the nature of the incident. Include observable details such as appearance, emotional state, or physical actions. For example, note if someone was unsteady on their feet, yelling, or showing signs of distress. These details may be important for understanding whether the person posed a risk to themselves or others and what actions security needed to take to manage the situation. Next, it is important to note hazards observed during the incident. Hazards could include wet floors, broken glass, electrical malfunctions, fire, or unsecured equipment. Accurately recording these hazards is critical because it informs immediate action, helps prevent future accidents, and protects the security company from liability. For instance, you might write, "A small water leak was observed near the main entrance, creating a slipping hazard for patrons." This clearly identifies both the hazard and the location for follow-up. Finally, describe any property affected in the incident. This could include damage to furniture, doors, equipment, or personal belongings. Be specific, noting what was damaged, its location, and the extent of damage if possible. For example, a glass panel on the north side of the vestibule was shattered, approximately 2 feet in width. Including this information ensures the report is comprehensive and provides an accurate record for management, maintenance teams, or insurance purposes. By focusing on observed behavior, hazards, and property, your incident report remains factual, professional, and useful for follow-up actions. 2.3 Timeline of key events, arrivals, or departures of emergency medical services, police, maintenance, etc. When writing an incident report, including a timeline of key events is essential to provide a clear and chronological account of the situation. This part of the report records the arrival and departure times of all relevant parties, such as emergency medical services, police, maintenance personnel, or other responders. Clearly noting the time each party arrived and left ensures that anyone reviewing the report later can understand how the incident unfolded and who was present at each stage. The timeline also helps establish accountability and coordination. By documenting the exact times of response, you show that appropriate steps were taken promptly and according to protocol. For example, noting that emergency medical services arrived at 15:10 hours and departed at 15:45 hours, or that police arrived at 15:20 hours and secured the scene, provides a clear record of who handled specific responsibilities. This level of detail demonstrates professionalism and diligence in managing the incident. Including a timeline also helps identify any gaps or delays in response that may require review. For instance, if maintenance was called to address a hazard, documenting that they arrived at 1600 hours allows supervisors to assess whether the response was timely and sufficient. Similarly, tracking when security first observed the incident and when external responders arrived gives a full picture of how the situation developed from discovery to resolution. Finally, a well-documented timeline makes the incident report useful for investigations or follow-up actions. Management, law enforcement, or insurance investigators rely on these details to understand the sequence of events, determine responsibility, and make informed decisions. By clearly recording the arrivals and departures of emergency medical services, police, and maintenance, you ensure your report is accurate, complete, and serves as a reliable record of the incident. 2.4 Location clarity. Store name plus mall area, for example, Coca Lens, Center Court. When writing an incident report, providing location clarity is one of the most important elements of the incident summary. This means specifying both the exact store or unit name and the general mall area or section where the incident occurred. For example, writing Coca Lens, Center Court gives the reader precise information, making it immediately clear which store and which part of the mall was involved. This level of detail is critical because mall properties can be large and complex, with multiple stores, entrances, and levels. Using both the store name and mall area helps anyone reading the report to visualize the incident's location. If management, emergency responders, or law enforcement need to follow up on the incident, they can go directly to the right spot without confusion. For instance, if the report only stated Coca Lens, responders might have to search through several floors or entrances to find the correct area, which wastes time and may delay necessary action. Specifying the location also helps in documenting patterns or recurring issues. For example, if multiple incidents are reported in the same store or mall area, Having accurate location details allows management to identify hotspots and take preventive measures, such as increasing patrols or improving signage. It also ensures that maintenance or repair teams know exactly where to go if the incident involves damage or a hazard. Finally, location clarity demonstrates professionalism and attention to detail in your reporting. A report that clearly states Coca Lens, Center Court, shows that the security guard took care to provide precise, factual information, which increases the report's credibility. Accurate location documentation is a standard expectation in the security industry, ensuring that your reports are useful, actionable, and easy for supervisors or external agencies to understand. 2.5 Neutral language: appeared to, reported by, observed, and avoid assumptions. When writing an incident report, using neutral language is critical to ensure your report remains professional and factual. Neutral language focuses on observations rather than interpretations, using phrases like appeared to, reported by, or observed. This allows you to describe the situation accurately without inserting personal opinions, assumptions, or judgments. For example, instead of writing, the subject was clearly angry and violent, a neutral version would say the subject appeared agitated and was observed shouting at another individual. This communicates the same information without making unverifiable assumptions about the person's intentions or emotions. Using neutral language also helps protect both you and the security company legally and professionally. Reports may be reviewed by supervisors, law enforcement, or even courts. If a report contains assumptions or biased language, it could be challenged or discredited. For example, writing "the employee was careless" implies blame, whereas a neutral version would state "the employee reported that equipment was malfunctioning." This keeps the focus on facts and actions rather than assigning fault. Neutral language is especially important when describing observations and secondhand information. Phrases like reported by clarify that you are documenting someone else's account rather than stating it as fact. Similarly, using appeared to communicates your observation without assuming intent or cause. For example, the male subject appeared to be unsteady on his feet and was observed leaning against the counter provides clear, factual information while avoiding judgment about why he was unsteady. Finally, consistent use of neutral language improves the clarity and credibility of your report. Readers can understand exactly what was observed, who reported it, and what actions were taken without needing to interpret opinions or assumptions. This professionalism ensures that your reports are reliable, actionable, and respected in the security industry. A well-written report using neutral language also sets a standard for other guards and reinforces the importance of factual, objective documentation. 3.1 Action taken by security: what you did, responded, or attended. When documenting the actions taken by security in an incident report, it is important to record exactly how and when you responded to the incident. This section provides a detailed account of the security guard's involvement and demonstrates that proper procedures were followed. Using precise timestamps and clear phrasing, such as 14:32 hours, attended Coca Lens to stand by, ensures that your report accurately reflects your actions in response to the situation. It also establishes a chronological record, which is crucial for supervisors, investigators, or emergency responders who may review the report later. Recording your attendance and response time shows that you acted promptly and professionally. For example, noting the exact time you arrived at a store, patrol area, or hazard location demonstrates accountability. Security companies often rely on these details to evaluate response efficiency and ensure that staff are following established protocols. Writing 14:32 hours, attended Kodak Lens to stand by, clearly communicates both the time and nature of your involvement without ambiguity. This section should also include specific actions taken while attending the incident. Standing by is one type of action, but other examples could include monitoring the subject, assisting emergency medical services or police, controlling access to the area, or documenting hazards. By providing clear descriptions of what you did, you show that your response was measured, appropriate, and aligned with your training. This makes the report useful for future reference, whether for internal review, legal purposes, or operational improvements. Finally, recording your actions in a structured, factual manner ensures professionalism and credibility. Using a consistent format with timestamps and concise descriptions allows anyone reading the report to quickly understand the sequence of security involvement. It also reduces the risk of misinterpretation or confusion about what occurred and what steps were taken. By documenting your response this way, you uphold industry standards, maintain accurate records, and demonstrate that security personnel manage the situation responsibly and effectively. 3.2 Assessed or monitored patient condition, safety risks, scene survey. When documenting actions taken by security, one key responsibility is to assess and monitor the situation. This means evaluating the conditions of any individuals involved, such as a patient in a medical emergency, as well as observing the overall environment for safety risks. Proper assessment ensures that the security guard understands the severity of the situation and can prioritize actions appropriately. For example, noting that a person appeared unconscious or was having difficulty breathing is critical information to include in the report, as it informs subsequent emergency response and medical intervention. In addition to assessing people, security guards must identify and monitor safety risks at the scene. Hazards may include wet floors, exposed electrical wiring, broken glass, unsecured equipment, or aggressive individuals. Recording these risks in your report, along with any measures taken to mitigate them, demonstrates proactive management of the scene. For instance, writing, "Observed a wet floor near the main entrance and cordoned off the area to prevent slips," clearly shows both the hazard and the security response. This level of detail is important for accountability and liability purposes. Conducting a scene survey is another critical part of assessing and monitoring. A thorough survey involves scanning the entire area for potential dangers, identifying bystanders who may require guidance, and checking if any equipment or property was damaged. Security guards should note what they observed and any actions taken to secure the scene. For example, surveyed the area and confirmed that no other patrons were at risk, checked that fire exits were unobstructed and emergency services had clear access. This demonstrates that the guard maintained situational awareness and ensured safety. Monitoring the condition of patients or individuals involved in the incident is also vital while waiting for emergency responders. Documenting changes in their condition over time, such as consciousness, breathing, or responsiveness, helps create a detailed timeline for supervisors and emergency medical services personnel. For example, patient remained conscious but complained of chest pain, continued to monitor vital signs until emergency medical services arrival at 1510 hours, shows the security guard's ongoing attention and professional involvement. Finally, thorough assessment and monitoring ensure that your report is accurate, comprehensive, and professional. By recording observations of the individual's condition, identifying hazards, and performing a detailed scene survey, your report provides a clear account of the situation and the security actions taken. This information is invaluable for management, emergency responders, and any subsequent investigation. A well-documented assessment and monitoring section demonstrates that the security guard acted responsibly, followed protocol, and maintained safety for everyone involved. 3.3 Controlled scene, crowd or traffic control, secured pathways, cordon hazards. When documenting actions taken by security, controlling the scene is a fundamental responsibility. This includes managing crowds, directing traffic, securing pathways, and cordoning off any hazards. Proper scene control ensures the safety of everyone present and prevents the incident from escalating. For example, if an area has a water leak or broken glass, security should immediately cordon off the hazard and redirect pedestrian traffic, reducing the risk of further injuries. Recording this action in your report demonstrates proactive management and adherence to safety protocols. Crowd control is a key aspect of scene management, particularly in busy public areas such as shopping malls. Security guards need to ensure that bystanders do not interfere with emergency responders or put themselves at risk. For instance, writing in the report, directed patrons to exit via the north corridor and maintained a safe distance from the incident area, clearly documents both your action and the safety measures implemented. This shows that you actively manage the environment to maintain order and protect both people and property. Traffic control and pathway security are also crucial elements. Security may need to reroute vehicles, close entrances, or maintain clear pathways for emergency medical services or police access. For example, secured the main entrance to allow emergency medical services access and instructed delivery personnel to wait in the loading area until the scene was cleared. This demonstrates professional awareness of potential bottlenecks and ensures that responders can act efficiently without unnecessary delays. Finally, cordoning hazards ensures that risks are clearly marked and separated from public access. Hazards such as spilled liquids, damaged equipment, or fire risks should be physically blocked off or marked with caution signage. Documenting this in the report, for instance, placed caution cones around the wet floor and blocked the area until maintenance arrived, shows that you took concrete steps to protect the public and prevent further incidents. Proper scene control in your report demonstrates accountability, professionalism, and adherence to industry best practices. 3.4 Coordinated or communicated with staff, emergency medical services, control room, and management. When documenting actions taken by security, effective coordination and communication are critical to managing an incident successfully. This involves keeping all relevant parties informed, including on-site staff, emergency medical services, the control room, and management. Clear communication ensures that everyone understands the situation, knows their role, and can respond efficiently. For example, noting in your report, contacted control room to report the incident and requested emergency medical services assistance demonstrates that you followed proper communication procedures and escalated the situation appropriately. Coordination with on-site staff is essential for controlling the environment and maintaining safety. Staff may need guidance to direct patrons, secure property, or assist with the incident, including statements such as, instructed store employees to clear the area and assist in monitoring the subject, shows that you actively managed internal resources to support incident response. This also helps management understand how security interacted with employees to maintain order and safety. Communication with emergency medical services and emergency responders is equally important. Security guards serve as the link between the scene and the professionals providing medical or law enforcement support. Documenting actions like updated emergency medical services on the patient's condition and location while maintaining scene safety demonstrates situational awareness and ensures responders have the information needed for an efficient and safe intervention. Accurate reporting of this communication also protects the guard and the company by providing a clear record of actions taken. Finally, coordination with management and the control room ensures that higher-level decision-making is informed. Security guards often need to relay status updates, request additional resources, or confirm follow-up procedures. Recording in the report advised mall management of the incident status and actions taken. Control room confirmed additional patrol units en route, highlights accountability and professionalism. Effective communication and coordination documented in this way show that the security guard acted responsibly, maintained control of the situation, and followed industry standard protocols. 3.5 Documented names or roles or units, statements, if any, photos or CCTV bookmarks. When documenting actions taken by security, accurately recording information is one of the most important responsibilities. This includes noting names, roles, and unit numbers of everyone involved, whether they are patrons, staff, or responding agencies such as emergency medical services or police. For example, writing Ambulance number 961 attended the scene, patient John Mao, employee Jane Song, ensures that your report identifies all relevant parties. This information provides accountability and allows management, investigators, or law enforcement to follow up on the incident efficiently. In addition to basic identification, it is critical to document statements from those involved or witnesses, if available. Recording exactly what was said, without altering or interpreting it, creates a factual account that can be used for investigations or legal purposes. For example, Witness reported that the water spill had been present for approximately 10 minutes before the incident, clearly shows the source of the information and maintains objectivity. This ensures the report captures all relevant details while remaining professional and neutral. Security guards should also document evidence visually, including photos or CCTV bookmarks, whenever appropriate. Capturing the scene and any damage provides tangible proof of the incident, supports written observations, and can be critical for insurance or legal follow-up. For example, photographed wet floor area and bookmarked CCTV footage from camera 5, timestamp 14:32 hours to 14:45 hours, shows that you not only recorded the event in writing, but also preserved visual evidence. This demonstrates thoroughness and professionalism in reporting. Finally, comprehensive documentation in the report ensures clarity, reliability, and accountability. By combining names, roles, unit numbers, statements, and visual evidence, your report provides a complete record that can be trusted by management, law enforcement, or emergency responders. Accurate documentation is a hallmark of professional security practice, showing that the guard acted responsibly, followed procedures, and maintained high standards in incident reporting. 3.6 Handover or escalation. Who took over? Any instructions received? When documenting actions taken by security, one key element is the handover or escalation of the incident. This involves recording who took over responsibility for managing the situation and any instructions or guidance you received during the process. Including this information in your report ensures continuity and accountability, showing that the incident was properly managed even after your involvement ended. For example, writing 15:10 hours. Emergency medical services took over care of the patient. Instructed to maintain perimeter until cleared clearly identifies both the party assuming responsibility and the instructions provided. Handover is important because many incidents require multiple personnel or agencies to respond. By documenting who took over, you create a clear record of the chain of command. This might include emergency medical services personnel, police officers, mall management, or another security guard relieving you. Recording this information helps supervisors verify that the appropriate authorities were notified and that the incident continued to be managed in a professional and structured manner. Equally important is documenting any instructions received during the handover or escalation. These instructions may come from management, the control room, emergency medical services, or police, and they guide your actions while you continue to support the scene. For example, control room instructed to secure the area and monitor crowd until the scene was cleared demonstrates that you followed directives and maintained situational control. Including these instructions in your report shows that you acted responsibly and in accordance with company procedures. Proper documentation of handover and escalation also ensures legal and operational accountability. If questions arise later about who managed the incident or whether proper procedures were followed, your report serves as a clear record. It can verify that you acted professionally, escalated the situation to the right authorities, and followed any instructions provided. This is critical in incidents that may involve property damage, injuries, or law enforcement investigations. Finally, including handover and escalation details in your report reinforces the professionalism and reliability of security personnel. It shows that you understand your role in a larger system, that you maintain proper communication with relevant parties, and that you ensure incidents are managed safely and effectively even after your direct involvement ends. A well-documented handover section enhances the overall quality and credibility of your incident report, demonstrating adherence to industry standards and best practices. For point 1 conclusion, how it ended, the outcome of the incident, transported, treated on site, issue repaired, suspect trespassed, no further action, etc. When writing the conclusion section of an incident report, it is important to clearly document the outcome of the situation. This tells the reader how the incident was resolved, whether the patient was transported by emergency medical services, treated on site, property hazards were addressed, or suspects were trespassed. Recording the outcome provides closure to the report and ensures that anyone reviewing it understands the final status of the incident. For example, emergency medical services transported the patient to St. Michael's Hospital at 15:30 hours clearly communicates the resolution of a medical incident. Documenting the outcome also shows actions taken were effective. For example, if a hazard was reported, stating water spill cleaned by maintenance, an area reopened to patrons demonstrates that the issue was resolved promptly and safely. This reassures management and clients that the security team not only responded to the incident, but also ensured a safe environment for patrons and staff. Including these details helps maintain professional accountability and confirms that standard operating procedures were followed to completion. In incidents involving suspects or unauthorized individuals, clearly noting the outcome is critical for legal and operational purposes. For example, suspect trespassed from the property and escorted to the main exit by security provides a factual record of how the situation was handled and prevents potential confusion in future incidents. Recording such actions protects the company and staff by showing that proper procedures were followed while maintaining safety and compliance with security regulations. It is also important to note if no further action, NFA, was required. For instance, after assessing the situation and consulting with emergency medical services, no further action was required, communicates that the incident was resolved and that there were no outstanding risks or concerns. Including NFA status ensures that supervisors and management can quickly understand that the incident was concluded without ongoing impact or additional intervention needed. Finally, a well-documented outcome provides a complete and professional record of the incident. By clearly stating whether the individual was transported, treated on site, a hazard was repaired, a suspect was trespassed, or no further action was necessary, your report demonstrates accountability, reliability, and adherence to industry standards. This final section ties together all observations, actions, and coordination efforts, creating a clear, chronological, and comprehensive record for management, emergency responders, or legal review. For point 2, status at departure. Area secured, operations normal. No further safety concerns. When writing the conclusion section of an incident report, one of the most important elements is documenting the status at departure. This tells the reader the condition of the area or scene after the incident has been addressed and ensures that operations are clearly noted as safe or back to normal. Using clear, professional statements such as area secured, operations normal, or no further safety concerns provides a factual summary that the situation has been resolved and no hazards remain. Recording the status at departure demonstrates accountability and professionalism. It shows that the security guard did not simply leave the scene, but took the time to ensure that the area was safe for patrons, staff, and other responders. For example, noting area secured, no obstructions in main corridors, and business operations resumed, confirms that the scene was properly monitored, hazards were removed, and normal activity could continue safely. This protects both the guard and the company by documenting proper procedures. Documenting status at departure also provides closure for supervisors and management. A clear note such as no further safety concerns, all patrons and staff informed of clearance, reassures those reviewing the report that the incident has been fully addressed and that no outstanding risks remain. This level of detail is especially valuable in environments like shopping malls, hospitals, or office complexes, where multiple parties rely on security for safe operations. Additionally, including this information allows for consistent follow-up and record-keeping. If future incidents occur in the same area, management or security staff can refer back to previous reports to see how situations were handled and whether any trends or recurring hazards exist. A statement of area status ensures that all reports are complete and provide a professional record of security operations. Finally, clearly stating the status at departure enhances the credibility and reliability of your incident report. It signals that the guard remained vigilant until the scene was safe, followed procedures to completion, and maintained a safe environment for everyone involved. By documenting that the area was secured and operations returned to normal, your report reflects thoroughness, attention to detail, and adherence to industry standards. For point 3, in time, when security cleared or incident resolved. When writing the conclusion section of an incident report, it is crucial to clearly document the end time of the incident. The end time refers to when the security guard either cleared the area or when the situation was fully resolved. Including this detail provides a clear boundary for the incident, creating a complete timeline from start to finish. For example, writing, "Security cleared the scene at 15:45 hours," establishes a factual record of when the guard's direct involvement ended. Recording the end time also serves accountability purposes. It confirms that the security team remained on site until the incident was properly addressed and ensures there is a clear record of response duration. This information is essential for supervisors and management, who may review the report to evaluate the timeliness and efficiency of the security response. A precise end time also demonstrates professionalism and attention to detail in following incident reporting procedures. Including the end time is important for operational continuity. In multi-shift environments, such as malls or large facilities, knowing the exact time security cleared allows incoming personnel to take over with full awareness of when the previous guard finished their involvement. For example, area remained secure, incident resolved, and scene handed over to evening patrol at 2000 hours provides clarity for shift transitions and ensures no confusion about who is responsible at any given time. Finally, documenting the end time contributes to the overall completeness and reliability of the report. It ties together the incident timeline, from discovery to resolution, and allows supervisors, clients, or external agencies to clearly understand the full scope of the security response. Including this simple yet critical detail ensures that your report meets professional standards and provides an accurate, chronological record of security operations. 5.1 Quality and compliance checks. Spelling or grammar reviewed. Professional tone. When completing an incident report, one of the final and most critical steps is conducting quality and compliance checks. This ensures that the report is not only accurate, but also professional and easy to read. A thorough review for spelling and grammar is essential because errors can reduce the credibility of the report and may cause misunderstandings when reviewed by supervisors, management, or external agencies. For example, a misspelled word in a location or a misused tense can make it unclear when an event occurred, which could compromise the integrity of the record. In addition to spelling and grammar, maintaining a professional tone throughout the report is vital. Reports should be factual, objective, and free from personal opinions, assumptions, or emotional language. Phrases such as appeared to, observed, and reported by help keep the tone neutral. A professional tone demonstrates that the security guard is competent, detail-oriented, and adheres to industry standards. It also ensures that the report can be shared with management, law enforcement, or legal personnel without raising concerns about bias or subjectivity. Performing quality checks of the incident report also allows you to ensure clarity and consistency across all sections of the report. This includes confirming that times are in 24-hour format, locations are clearly identified, names and roles are accurately recorded, and actions taken are described precisely. By reviewing these elements, you minimize the risk of misinterpretation and ensure that anyone reading the report can quickly understand what happened, who was involved, and how the incident was resolved. Finally, completing a quality and compliance check reinforces professional accountability. A polished, error-free report reflects the guard's attention to detail and commitment to following company procedures. It ensures that the report is a reliable and trustworthy record of the incident, which is essential for operational review, training purposes, or legal documentation. Taking the time to review spelling, grammar, and tone transforms a simple report into a professional document that meets industry standards and supports the credibility of the security team on site. 5.2 All times in 24-hour format. Sequence is chronological. When conducting quality and compliance checks for an incident report, it is essential to ensure that all times are recorded in 24-hour format. Using a consistent time format, such as 14:30 instead of 2:30 p.m., eliminates confusion and provides clarity, especially when reports are reviewed by multiple personnel, including supervisors, emergency responders, or law enforcement. Accurate time recording helps establish a precise timeline of events, which is critical for accountability, understanding the sequence of actions, and verifying response times. Equally important is confirming that the sequence of events is presented chronologically. Each action, observation, and response should follow the order in which it occurred, from initial discovery to resolution and clearance. A chronological sequence allows readers to clearly follow the progression of the incident, understand the timing of each intervention, and see how security, emergency medical services, or other responders coordinated effectively. Maintaining both 24-hour format and chronological order ensures the report is professional, logical, and reliable for operational, investigative, or legal purposes. 5.3 Only verified facts. Witness quotes in quotation marks if used. When conducting quality and compliance checks for an incident report, one of the most important principles is to include only verified facts. This means the report should strictly document what you observed, actions taken, or information confirmed by reliable sources, without adding personal opinions, assumptions, or speculations. For example, instead of writing, "The suspect looked dangerous," you should write, "The suspect was observed leaving the store without paying for merchandise." Using verified facts ensures that your report remains accurate, professional, and legally defensible. In addition to verified facts, if you include statements from witnesses or others involved in the incident, it is important to quote them accurately and place their words in quotation marks. For example, the witness stated, "I saw the individual slip near the wet floor at 14:28 hours." Using quotation marks clearly differentiates the witness's account from your own observations, maintaining objectivity and avoiding any misrepresentation of what was said. This practice also increases the credibility of your report and ensures transparency in documenting the incident. Following this approach also helps maintain a neutral and professional tone throughout the report. By focusing on verified facts and accurately attributing statements, the report avoids subjective language or assumptions about intent, emotions, or causes. This is critical when reports are reviewed by supervisors, management, or law enforcement, as it ensures the report is factual, concise, and easy to interpret without bias. Finally, documenting only verified facts and using quotation marks for witness statements supports compliance with industry standards and best practices. It demonstrates professionalism, attention to detail, and adherence to company procedures. Reports prepared in this way are reliable, credible, and useful for follow-up investigations, internal reviews, or any legal proceedings that may arise. Ensuring factual accuracy and proper quotation formatting is a hallmark of high-quality security incident reporting. 5.4 Privacy respected. Use roles or titles if names unavailable. When performing quality and compliance checks for an incident report, respecting privacy is a critical consideration. If the names of individuals involved in an incident are not available, it is important to document their roles or titles instead. For example, instead of leaving the person unidentified or guessing a name, you might write male patron, store employee, or maintenance staff. This ensures that the report remains factual while protecting the identity of those involved. Respecting privacy also reduces the risk of legal or ethical issues. Using roles or titles prevents sensitive personal information from being unnecessarily disclosed, which is important in environments like malls, hospitals, or workplaces where privacy regulations may apply. For example, writing "emergency medical services attended the scene" rather than naming a paramedic by full name maintains professionalism and follows industry best practices. Additionally, using roles or titles helps maintain clarity and professionalism in the report. Readers can still understand who performed actions or provided information without needing personal identifiers. This approach ensures the report communicates all necessary details for management, law enforcement, or emergency responders while upholding privacy standards, demonstrating that the security guard follows proper reporting procedures. 6. Attachments noted: CCTV references or footage, photo IDs, forms, if applicable. When completing quality and compliance checks for an incident report, it is important to note any attachments that support or supplement the written report. Attachments can include CCTV references, photographs, forms, or identification records. Clearly referencing these attachments ensures that anyone reviewing the report can locate and verify additional evidence related to the incident. For example, writing CCTV footage from camera 3, timestamp 1425 to 1440 hours attached, provides a clear link between the written account and the visual evidence. Documenting attachments also strengthens the credibility and completeness of your report. Including CCTV references, photos, or relevant forms helps supervisors, management, and emergency responders understand the incident more fully, verify details, and make informed decisions. For example, a photograph of a hazard or a bookmarked CCTV clip provides tangible proof to support the observations and actions recorded in the report. Finally, noting attachments ensures organizational compliance and professional accountability. By clearly documenting all supporting evidence, the report demonstrates that proper procedures were followed, all relevant information has been preserved, and the security personnel acted responsibly. Properly labeled attachments make it easier for management or investigators to cross-reference and follow up on the incident, creating a more reliable and professional security report. At last, we will refresh our mind going through the summary for the incident report writing checklist. Writing a professional incident report as a security guard begins with preparation and accurate recording of key details. This includes the exact date and time in 24-hour format, the precise location of the incident, and any nearby landmarks. Identifying parties involved is also essential. If names are unknown, their roles or titles should be used to maintain privacy. Unit numbers of responding personnel, such as emergency medical services or police, should also be recorded. These foundational details set the stage for a clear, factual report and establish accountability from the outset. The incident summary focuses on objective, factual observations. Security personnel must document what they observed, including individuals' behavior, property affected, and any hazards, while avoiding assumptions or personal opinions. A chronological timeline of key events, including arrivals and departures of emergency medical services, police, or maintenance staff, ensures that the sequence of events is clear. Neutral language, such as appeared to, observed, or reported by, is critical to maintain professionalism and ensure that the report is legally defensible. The actions taken by security section details all interventions and responses performed by the guard. This includes attending the scene, assessing and monitoring individuals and hazards, controlling the area, coordinating with staff or emergency responders, and documenting evidence such as photos, CCTV bookmarks, statements, or forms. Handover and escalation procedures should also be clearly noted, indicating who took over the situation and any instructions received. Recording times in chronological order demonstrates adherence to protocol and accountability for all security actions. Finally, the conclusion and quality or compliance checks ensure the report is complete, accurate, and professional. The conclusion should note the outcome of the incident, status at departure, and end time, whether hazards were resolved, individuals treated or transported, or no further action, NFA, was required. Quality checks include verifying spelling, grammar, tone, factual accuracy, privacy compliance, and attachment references. By following the full checklist, security personnel produce a comprehensive and reliable report that reflects professionalism, supports operational review, and provides a clear record for management, law enforcement, or legal purposes. At the end, thank you, everyone, especially the security guards who have taken the time to read, understand, and learn from this content. The knowledge and skills shared here will not only support you in your daily duties, but also strengthen your future career in security. Always remember to apply these practices in your report writing, as accuracy and professionalism are the foundation of trust in our work. Wishing you success in your duties, stay alert, and stay safe. May God bless you in your good work.